Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We are back, and we are getting ready to fly Contractual Obligations, which has been redesigned to a much different... That's all I can really say. It's a much different design than it was before. Alright, Contractual Obligations. Here we go. So we've done the full rework. We have a smaller booster stage, a smaller secondary stage, a smaller tertiary stage, and less of everything. So cutting the cost of this ship down to 83,000. Yeah, 83,000. Now one of my contracts is worth $83,000, so this is basically the same cost without any recovery as one of the contracts, which leaves 60,000 or so profit, which is a much better margin than the 15,000 I was looking at before. So, just double check my staging didn't get messed up. All the rockets at the bottom, first booster, all the rockets in the middle, second booster, and then the thing I'm not going to be firing. Oh, parachutes, well, they can be down there because they're not going to be used at the same time as that. Okay. We'll have to figure out how to get this thing deorbited and this thing doing what it has to do at the same time. It's going to be a little complicated. Haven't entirely figured it out yet, but we'll have to see. Getting this piece back home is going to be the biggest challenge. But we will see how well this plays out. So RCS off there, RCS on here. Okay. It's as good as it's going to get. Let's rock and roll. At least I think it is. But yeah, we've chopped this down to 83,000. So that's a much preferable number to the 116,000 that we had for our initial design. Unfortunately, this is the big part, is that the $83,000 contract is the Mooner contract. So that one can't fail. Cannot fail. So here we go in 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. No time like the present. Here we go. Going up. Up, 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 up. I'm trying to remember if this configuration had trouble with heat or not. I suspect it does, though, with that many engines close proximity like that. How could it not? Okay. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, we'll worry about it when it gets really close to being a critical problem. As long as it's not, you know, melting the ship, I think we'll be alright. Because that full throttle makes a big difference. I think those are all going down at the same speed. They must be. They're all using 4 engines all at the same time. Yeah, it's just an optical illusion is all. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. They're not heating fast enough to be even remotely an issue. In fact, I think they're starting to cool. Yep, they're starting to cool now. Excellent. That's all that really matters to me. They're not going to melt. Then all is well. Okay, so I've got some notes about the mission profile here, and these engines, the outer rim ones, have to be activated at 77,700 minimum. They have an upper limit as well, but... There we are. That's what I want visible. Almost to our gravity turn. Just a couple more minutes. Alright, here we go. Close enough. Here, that felt very precipitous, the way, the sort of wiggling we had at the turn there. There we go. We're now building up our, building an orbit. We've got things configured so that the wrong engines will not fire. This should easily be able to get us into orbit. I'm sure of it. Oh yeah, we're already Our apoapsis is already passing 30 kilometers, which is good. That's very good. And get ready to stage. And the RCS has to be on now. We're full throttle, and we are still gaining speed and rising our apoapsis, which is good. That means that our ship is powerful enough to do the job. So we're going to stop this thing at 77 and see where we're at with these engines right here. Oh, and there's our orbit. Okay. So obviously we're going to have to boost this a little higher. Just keep on raising it a little further. We're going full horizontal here, though. I should have gone horizontal a little sooner than this. Now what we might do is readjust the staging here a bit, and stage these in without actually activating them. Alright, as long as that periapsis is rising, that's the important part for me here. And I don't mind if my apoapsis rises, because I need to be at a minimum of 7,700 meters. And because my test engine is up on the payload there, it isn't going to be removed until we get to 92,600. So this payload's going to be in a much higher orbit than usual, which may or may not have been an actual wise design choice. We'll live. In fact, I think what we're going to do is we're going to stage it like that. Because those are radial engines, they can actually... No, you guys, you need to go... You might as well adjust the staging. New stage. Those engines can go there. They can fire here. There we go. Without the decoupler firing. Cool. Alright, we're going to have to stop, because our apoapsis is getting a little high. That's alright. Let's get a little closer to our apoapsis. And actually, let me see, find our test. We're not in orbit, so we have to be in orbit before we can actually test this engine. Ooh, and we can't raise our orbit anymore, or we will not be able to do the test. Okay, we just got to make sure we're not raising our apoapsis at all. Looks like we're okay. Nope, that raised. No rising. You stay right there. Okay, so I think we can do this the way I'm planning. Ooh, we don't want to be falling. Oh, okay, we are not quite in orbit. Let's take it a little closer. Our apoapsis is flying away rapidly. Okay. Nope. Come on, SAS. There we go. 40, 50. 70. Okay, and we are in all test spaces for these engines, so we go kaboom. Aren't you guys active? All right. There we are. Done. One down. Next up, the deliveries and that engine right there, which is just a test, which has got to wait until we're up to a higher orbit. So we'll raise our numbers a little further. We need to get up to 92. There we are. Excellent. To be able to test the LV1, which is just a right click and go. So let's get to that apoapsis. Oh, right, we need to disable these before we go any further. That one's shut down, and that one's shut down. Excellent. Okay, so now we're just using the other engines. Okay. All right, let's turn off the SAS. Let's use the RCS to do a quick rotational burn here. We're getting low on monopropellant, but not precipitously so. And we still have fuel left in here we should use to get ourselves in at least a rounded orbit at our apoapsis. Because we don't want to have this, commercial payload sitting in an eccentric orbit. That's just a bad idea. I mean, you want to talk about hazards to navigation? There it is, right there. Okay. Let's, we'll just time warp. We'll rotate a little bit past that point there, and we'll time warp a little further. Here we go. 90... We're almost there. 92,600 is the magic number. All right, we're there. So now we should just be able to right-click this and say, hey, run test. Perfect. Okay. That's 2 down, and we're 1 minute and 55 seconds away from our apoapsis. So let's just slow down. And then we're going to have to deorbit this thing and plan our lunar burn. 2-for-1 deal right there. Arg. Okay. Actually, you know what we could do? Well, let's get the orbit adjusted here a bit. Good enough. Okay, good enough. Okay. Deliver. Deliver. Done, 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 and done. And then decouple node. And we go back away a little. Perfect. Okay, now here's the plan. What do I need to do? I need to configure these parachutes to minimum pressure of 0.15. Because what we're going to do is we're actually going to let this thing into an orbit that we can come back to it later. And then what we will do is we will actually deploy these chutes. I think that's going to be the plan. Yeah, let's get this thing off the ship first. Let's go let me just make sure. Okay, RCS is on both. Batteries are on. Okay. Let's go with this ship piece, and let's go back away. And actually, we'll rotate you all the way around. Perfect, and all you've got is a decoupler that we don't want to deploy because it might actually survive. And then we want to use the last of the engines to put you just inside the atmosphere. Somewhere around a 60 or a... Let's go with 55. You're not hitting the ground. Perfect. Okay, we'll leave you there with your chutes. Oh, hell, let's go with a 40. Okay, we'll leave you there with the chutes pre-deployed. Come on. Deploy chutes. Okay. Excellent. All right. You are going to the moon. You're going to have to burn at moonrise, right about here. So all we've got left is the big money project. Transit time, 6 hours. Can we get there faster? We probably can. That gets us to a 73 periaps. Really? Wow. And how quickly does it get us there? 5 hours. We need to be under 19. Okay, so it needs to go a lot low. We need to go even lower than that, but okay, are we overburning? I can't even tell. You know what? Let's do it this way. We'll do it 10, 10, 10, 10. 10 at a time to here. There we are. There's our first encounter. Okay. So let's just activate that. Come on. Will you stop helping? I just want the flag to be active all the time. Really? There we are, finally. Okay. Wow, okay, when we go at 10, it's too much. Let's go 1. Wow, okay, that gets us to... Okay, is that as... No, okay, I guess we have to go a little closer to get that next... That's an impact trajectory. So that does take us past the moon. So if we go to here, I should be able to work with that. That takes us in as just about as close as we can afford to go with this transition burn. How much time do we have? 17 minutes? 22. Okay, we can adjust to get to that. So what we need now is our resources. So we're not deploying... Those engines are active, and this should be... We should make sure that's... No, we have to not accidentally trigger those engines. We can't... Because that's our test right there. That is our test ship right there. So one way or another, this thing needs to get to the moon. That's just all there is to it. Okay, 17 minutes. Let's see. Where's that other piece? It will be lower down and further back. I've completely lost track of it already. Well, you know what? We'll come find it afterwards. It's going to be sort of our bonus. Oh yeah, there's... No, that's the stuff at the launch pad. Ah, we'll find it later. We'll find it later. This is the important part. This is more important than the chunk of ship that's sort of sitting in its its arrival orbit. All right, so 2,300 battery left. This is sort of the iffy part. It's going to take a lot longer than 36 seconds to do this burn. So we'll give it maybe 2 minutes. We're at 1 minute and 30 seconds, T-minus. As long as I'm not pointing at the ground, it should be okay. I did remember, yeah, I did turn that on. Good. 1 minute and 30. We'll give a SAS on and full throttle to the engines. Okay, I can actually wait a little longer. We'll go to 1 minute. We'll go to 40 seconds. There we are, close enough. Actually, we need the minor end. We need the lower power boost now for the SAS. That should give us a lot more time on that. Okay, going to the moon with contractual obligations. And that one needs to be tested. I'm not sure if it's a right-click and test or right-click and activate, or just activate, but we'll find out when we get there. Okay, we've got to watch our orbit. 23. We have lots of fuel. Okay, almost there. Gonna slow it down a little because we're getting into the territory where finesse is going to matter. Alright, we're just waiting to get a little closer. Alright, now we're just managing that periapse until it gets low enough for our purposes. Oh. Yeah, right. We're passing that sort of weird point where we're zapping past it that we saw in our previous tests. Then we're going too far too fast, and then we're into the dropping, dropping, dropping. 4. Well, let's get rid of that. If I'm reading that right, that's exactly what we needed right there. Just barely. Okay, good enough. You know what? We can adjust that. Let's not watch that any longer. Just do a quick save. And now that that is on its way to the moon, we can go find that chunk of debris that we were flying and try and get it to the ground. Because we've got 5 hours now until we get to the moon. So if we take that 5 hours to make sure we can get that chunk of ship to the ground, ideally, which is really just going to be supervising it via the monitoring system here. Contractual obligations, oh, here we are. Contractual obligations, suborbital trajectory. Hopefully we have enough time to monitor it and actually have it lose some altitude. We even have power left to reorient this thing into a safer angle for reentry, and hopefully that angle of reentry is going to involve actual I suppose we could just use the remaining engine power to drop our apoapsis a little. Oh, but that'll bring us down too fast. Nope, that's definitely not the one we want. We want to go the other way. We do not have a lot of time left here. I don't know that there's anything we can do to improve our situation here. We're just going to be doing what we're going to be doing. We might just have to use a pulse of engine power to get us the rest of the way to the ground. And this thing's going to run out of batteries. I need to replace this design with the better, the more efficient probe core. It'll be more likely I can get the silly things home. As it is, the battery's going to die in a few moments here, and we're not going to have any more opportunities to slow ourselves down. So we better go up to here. No, it's just not doing what we want it to do, is it? We'd actually have to be on the other side of this. And we don't have it. Nope. We got to stop. Monopropellant, stop. We're going to run out of monopropellant. Here we go. Alright, we're just going to have to live with it. Okay. We're still in an orbital trajectory? Oh, we've just come back up again, have we? Darn it, I was coming up to my app. Oh, well. Too bad. Well, this could go really poorly. And there goes the probe core, so it's going to either make it or not, as the case may be. Let me just check on our contractual obligations. Lots of time before we have to deal with that thing. Oh dear. It's going to burn, isn't it? I can see it coming already. Yeah, it's facing exactly the wrong way, I believe. Unless something miraculous happens and it decides to drift the other way around, this thing is going to just be toast. And that's just the way it's got to be. It was worth a shot. I should not have gotten greedy with the engines there, but I don't know. What else could I have done? Not much. Guess we'll just see what happens as we get into the more powerful part of the atmosphere. If it starts to rotate, which it probably won't, we'll be in good shape. If it doesn't, we might just abandon this and be done with it. Yeah, because we're going exactly the wrong way. Those engines are supposed to be acting as afterburners, so no, this thing is going to burn in a glorious mess. Oh well. That was unfortunate. I chose poorly. There's nothing I can do with this. Nothing left to do except wait for it to burn. And even then, I don't think we're even going to bother with that, because Yeah, it's not rotating to a position that's going to be useful, which is what it's done in the past, but I'm too close to being, you know, perfectly angled for this. So, yeah. No, that's the end of that. Alright, that one can die by itself. Okay, fine. Can't switch vessels while in atmosphere. Fair enough. I guess we've got to watch this thing explode. Too bad. Too darn bad. Well, that's going to drop our margin on this a little, but fortunately our margin wasn't dependent on this. Yeah. Just explode already, please. Just die. I mean, seriously, we've already lost the part that matters. Can we just be done with this now? Thank you. Alright, fine. We're gonna go to the Space Center. So that's too bad. That's too bad, but, I mean, we're gonna make a profit on this. The only thing that could go... We're gonna make a profit on this. Let's just be positive about this. Let's go finish this little project off and see how well we do. Here we are. And now we're heading to the moon. Getting ready to... Quick save here. Because just in case something goes horribly, horribly wrong with the transition here, because it's twitching like crazy. Because it's not sure if it's going to be in orbit or not. 20 minutes. Lots of battery power left. I probably didn't need that third battery pack, but it's okay. 3 minutes, 2 minutes. 20. 15. Alright, there we go. We just need to wait a few more seconds, and then we can do our calculations for the lunar burn. Boom, we're in lunar orbit. With a 19... That's exactly what we wanted. There's our lunar orbit. Pretty as you please. No, other way. There we go. Bring that down. There we are. Just a little higher. 18. I can't see exactly what that's become. Not a clue. Alright, we'll deal with it. That's probably going to be good enough anyways. Here we are. RCS on. Get ourselves a little drift going. Lots of monopropellant left. Lots of everything left, really. So... Cool. Well, this is exactly what I wanted, and now I can get rid of a whole bunch of these contracts and see a whole bunch of new stuff, which is what we were... really, the primary purpose of this was just to get those old contracts out of the way so that I could get on to bigger and better things without taking the hit on canceling a ton of contracts. 11 hours to go, or 1 hour. We have more than 1 hour's worth of battery left, so almost should have put... Nah. I was thinking if I should have put the science instrumentation on here, but nah, not necessary. 30. 10 minutes to go. This should take maybe 2 minutes at most, so we'll burn it T-minus 1 minute. And we'll go. Okay, 23 seconds is more like it. Alright, let's do this. Bring it on down. Apoapsis, excellent. Okay. Alright, that just went completely sideways on me. Okay, So in a few moments, we'll be far enough down to test this solid rocket booster. From 1300 to 1900, so we need to be below 1900 here. Which means we need to go just a little lower. Which is okay. That's going to take us low enough. Alright, we just passed the apoapsis, so now we're looking for the periaps. Excellent. Okay. Just rotate that a whole bunch. And then time warp again. Going down. Well, it'd be nice to have this these extra contracts cleared. One more batch of rotation. I mean, it's not like I'm going to need to do this, but it's nice to have the option to... Alright, so what exactly is it going to take to test this? Is it a right-click and test, or is it just a fire the engines and say goodbye? I think it's just a fire the engines and say goodbye. Okay. Yep. Fire and forget. So I wonder what's going to happen here. We're going to crash so beautifully, it's not even going to be funny. I mean, I guess I could just spin this around and save it, but why? Why would I care? It's done its purpose. I don't need this thing sitting in orbit. Oh my god, it's actually turning into a prograde. No! I don't want to go into orbit. Stop! 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 Do not be prograde orbit. It's burning so fast, it's actually going to turn the whole ship around. That's insane. Here we are, we're chasing the retrograde marker. Come on, go, go, go. There we are. Well, that was insane. I guess we needed to do that for some reason. We're just coming down like a ton of bricks, aren't we? There is no... no ifs, ands, or buts. This thing's hitting the ground like a ton of bricks. Should we try to save it? Why wouldn't we try to save it, just for fun? Where's the retro marker? It's got to be close to vertical here. We don't have a lot of time. Full throttle to the engines. Well, we might actually be able to land this thing intact on the moon. Wouldn't that be funny? Alright, we need to scare this thing towards being a little bit more vertical now. To cut out some of our horizontal motion. It's good practice anyways. Okay. It's always good practice to land. If you've got the fuel left, you might as well take the opportunity. Because we've got... Well, I'm actually kind of impressed. These engines are pretty good. Fuel efficiency-wise, that was actually a pretty impressive transition if you think about it. And they've got enough fuel efficiency and guts to get us to the ground more effectively than the LV909s, which is good. Which is going to make our next... I may actually redesign. I don't think I have access to those engines yet, though, which is too bad. 1.6 kilometers to go. I mean, this thing's going to lay down collapse, but... But hopefully, in the process, it doesn't explode too much. 200 meters to go. No shadows, because we're not. 100 meters to go. 95. There we are. Nice, and we are down. Tipping, tipping, stable. Ha! Well, there you go. Should be on the surface. Let's just lay it down nicely here. Let's try and lay it down gently. Gently, gently. Boom. Perfect. Well, there you go. Contractual obligations are completed. Let's head to the Space Center and clear our clear the decks. See what we got for our next contracts, and then we can contemplate our next mission, which is going to be the Triplanetary, if all goes according to plan. Okay, so 83,000, 15, 15, 8,000, 23,000. So I came out a little ahead of where we started, but the important thing is we now have medium, small, small, explore, explore, test, gear bay. Okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff. That's not a bad one. Escape trajectory. Escape trajectory would mean... we'll have to see. I don't think I'm going to worry about these for the next mission. Small payload to Minmus is tempting because we are going to go to Minmus. I wonder if I could squeeze it on. Maybe. We'll have to see. But that's a job for the next episode. Let me know if you think that the let me just pull it up before we call it a day. If you think that this ship can handle the Minmus payload delivery, let me know. I'm not sure if it's going to be a bit of a pain to squeeze on with the scanner, though. Let's try Planetary Express. The hard part is exactly how we're going to squeeze it onto this ship. But it would sure be nice to get it, just to get a little extra cash for it. I don't know if it's worth it. It might be more trouble than it's worth to try and squeeze another job on here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to skip it. We'll do that in a future mission. So, thank you all for watching. That was pretty successful. In the next mission, we're going to fly this monstrosity with possible modifications depending on what I hear over the next few days. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.